was a crisp winter morning in Los Angeles, January 15th, 1947. A mother walking with her child through the Leimert Park neighborhood stumbled upon a sight so horrific that she initially mistook it for a discarded mannequin. There, just feet from the sidewalk in a vacant lot, lay the body of a young woman, naked, posed in a grotesque manner, and cleanly severed at the waist. The victim's face had been slashed from the corners of her mouth toward her ears, creating a disturbing, eternal smile. Her body was completely drained of blood and thoroughly washed clean. This wasn't just another murder in post-war Los Angeles. This was something different, something that would capture the nation's attention and change America's relationship with true crime forever. The LAPD immediately took charge of the investigation, with the FBI quickly joining to assist. Despite the extensive mutilation of the body, authorities identified the victim with remarkable speed. Just 56 minutes after receiving fingerprints via an early fax-like device called sound photo, the young woman was 22-year-old Elizabeth Short, a Massachusetts native who had come to California with dreams of Hollywood stardom. Short's fingerprints were in FBI files from a 1943 job application at an army camp and a later arrest for underage drinking in Santa Barbara. With her identity established, investigators began the painstaking process of reconstructing her final days. The timeline revealed that on January 9th, 1947, a man named Robert Manley had driven Short to the Biltmore Hotel in downtown Los Angeles, where she claimed to be meeting her sister before heading to Berkeley. Manley left her in the hotel lobby at 6:30 p.m. It was the last confirmed sighting of Elizabeth Short alive. For the next 6 days, her whereabouts remained a mystery until the gruesome discovery of her body. Investigators quickly determined that Short had been killed elsewhere and her body transported to the vacant lot. The complete absence of blood at the scene confirmed this theory. The precision of the bisection suggested to many detectives that the killer might have medical training or anatomical knowledge. The investigation soon faced significant challenges. Hundreds of tips flooded in as media coverage intensified. The Los Angeles Examiner and other newspapers competed aggressively for scoops, sometimes compromising potential evidence. Dozens of people falsely confessed to the murder, while hundreds of suspects were questioned and cleared. In a macabre twist, on January 25th, 1947, 10 days after the discovery of Short's body, her black patent leather purse and one shoe were found in a dumpster miles from the crime scene. More disturbing still, the killer began sending taunting letters to police and newspapers, escalating the psychological aspects of the case. Over the following months, despite exhaustive investigations, the police found themselves no closer to identifying the killer. The LAPD ran extensive records checks on potential suspects and conducted interviews across the nation. They even investigated medical students at the University of Southern California based on the theory that the killer had dissection skills. But every promising lead eventually went cold. 78 years later, the Black Dahlia murder remains unsolved. The case has spawned countless theories, books, and films, becoming a haunting symbol of Hollywood's darker side. Some investigators have proposed their own solutions. In 2010, retired LAPD homicide detective Steve Hodel published Black Dahlia Avenger, claiming his own father, Dr. George Hodel, was the killer. Hodel suggested his father, a prominent Hollywood physician specializing in venereal diseases, had ties to the victim and the skills to perform the precise bisection. He even proposed the crime scene arrangement was influenced by surrealist art, given his father's friendship with the photographer Man Ray. Other theories have implicated various suspects, from serial killers to organized crime figures to Hollywood elites protected by a police cover-up. Modern forensic techniques might help solve the case, but much of the original evidence has been reported lost or misplaced over the decades. What remains is the enduring legacy of a young woman whose tragic death transformed how America consumes true crime. Elizabeth Short's murder became one of the first major crimes in post-war America to capture national attention. Her ghost continues to haunt Los Angeles, a symbol of shattered Hollywood dreams and the dark fascination with unsolved mysteries. The Black Dahlia case fundamentally changed crime reporting in America, blurring the line between news and entertainment. It created a template for media sensationalism that continues to this day. The investigation itself revolutionized forensic practices and interagency cooperation, with the FBI's rapid identification process demonstrating the emerging power of national law enforcement databases. Today, Elizabeth Short rests in Mountain View Cemetery in Oakland, California, but her story and the mystery of who took her life continues to captivate new generations of true crime enthusiasts. The Black Dahlia remains what writer James Elroy called a post-war Mona Lisa, an LA quintessential, her unsolved murder a perfect, haunting American tragedy.